With Coach Jason Lippard, Northeast Guilford Rams football coach. Spring practice underway. Now, can you kind of give us an idea what you guys are doing during the spring practice, and if in any way at all is any different what you did last year?
It's not a whole lot different. We get 10 days. Of course, there's no contact. We come out wearing shells. We got shoulder pads on, helmets on. A lot of install stuff, offensively and defensively, trying to get our system installed. We're changing defensive stuff, so that's a little slower. Offensively, pretty similar. We're changing some personnel groupings, but we really kind of have made a focus to cut our stuff down and try to get good at a couple things. And we're going to address that with motions and formations and stuff like that.
How can you see a difference? Can you tell a difference in your team this time this year as you had the guys about this same time you took over last year? Is there much difference in the team?
I think there's a lot of difference. Our attitude's much different. Our work ethic's much different. There's a lot more togetherness. And I think that's been a complete team effort as far as coaching staff, off-season stuff. The kids have bought into what we're doing in the weight room, and as a byproduct of that, they're buying in. They're working together, and they're starting through this 10-day period. We're walking it out. They're starting to care about each other, and I think that's the biggest piece of the puzzle for our culture here, our atmosphere at practice, and in our program is to get some team and togetherness and make sure we got the right attitude.
As a coach, do you like the way the format? You like the format of the spring practices now?
I do. I think it's a little cramped in 10 days. And you get to the end of the semester, all the kids worried about grades, you're trying to finish well, and you got driver's ed, it conflicts with that, and some stuff like that. But all in all, I do like the 10-day setup. I just wish we were, like everybody else in the world, I wish we were allowed to do a little more. But I think it's a good start. I'd like to see the High School Athletic Association continue to develop this thing, and maybe give us 14 days or something like that. And maybe let us have a little contact, but I don't know if we'll ever get there.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing, the lack of contact. But what do you do since you can't have the contact? What do you do to kind of get around that and go ahead and get these guys ready for the upcoming year?
You can work on bags and things of that nature, and it's install. Football is just tough. When you get into season, you usually have at practice. I don't know how everybody else does it, but at practice we usually have one really heavy day a week. There's a lot of contact one day of practice a week, and without that contact, you don't ever really know how they're going to respond. So when we're installing stuff, things look great or may look really good, but you don't really know. It's hard to evaluate players when you can't see what they're made of when it's crunch time.
Right.
And I think that's the missing piece. But it is good for install, and it is good for getting the young guys to learn some newer stuff. And it does give us a chance to slow down and talk tackling. We've done a great job trying to teach the roll tackle and some heads-up tackling stuff, and work on slowing that down and teaching it. So I think that part of it's good.
So you want to slow that down and then later speed it up?
Yeah, in a period where we can't have contact, we want to really take an opportunity to slow it down, teach it form, teach the techniques. That way when we do speed it up, we've kind of covered our bases on safety, and we've done a good job laying a foundation that allows them to be successful.
Based on who's out here right now among your players, can you tell what kind of team you might have as far as what you have coming back and who's returning from last season, who should be improved, who can be leaders, and who can be talented players for the Rams?
We've got some guys that have really done a great job in the weight room. Of course, Simpson kid's back at quarterback. He's worked really hard.
Feels good to have him back, right?
It does, and you'll get to see, folks are going to get to see him play some defense this year. I know some colleges like to see that. We're excited about seeing that. We've got Brevin Allen's a big defensive end of ours. He gets a lot of attention recruiting-wise, but again, we need to see him develop contact-wise and stuff like that. But we're excited about those two. Those are kind of the two head of the class there, and we got a lot of guys coming back as far as pieces to the puzzle. We got Jeremiah Praler's back at receiver and safety.
So he's like one of the main receivers, I'm sure, for Simpson then.
Yeah, he is, and they play basketball together, so they've got good continuity there between the two of them. We've got some guys that are coming up off that JV crowd that we're really excited about. They're going to be juniors.
That team was, what, 8-2 last year?
Yeah, they had a great year, and we love what they bring to the table. Desmond Overton will play corner and some slot receiver. Tyreek Ridges is going to play safety, tailback, and some slot receiver. He's going to be a guy that has to. He's got to touch it X amount of times.
Right. Got to hit it in his hands.
Yeah, he's a special athlete. You got Noah Priester coming back. He'll play some running back and some outside linebacker for us.
So you won't focus on just one main running back. You'll use several running backs then.
Yeah, and kind of the mentality we tried to start last year. Tobias Floyd is back, and his role is going to look a little different. He's going to play tailback some, but he's going to play a lot of fullback type stuff for us, bullback and our spread H-back stuff, and keep him involved heavily there. He's going to play some defense for us. You'll see us play with a little more tight end stuff this year. So we got Jake Turner playing tight end. We've got Scott Santiago playing tight end. We've got Brevin Allen playing tight end. I feel like that gives our personnel grouping a different look, and also it kind of benefits what we have.
What about the transition from what's going on right now? You finish up tomorrow. Today's Tuesday. You finish it tomorrow, which is Wednesday, and spring practice is complete. What about the transition toward the 7-on-7s? When does that kick in?
Our first 7-on-7 is June 15th. We get out for summer, and that's the first day after teacher work days are over. And from now till then, we're dead. We don't do anything. We've got exams. We want our kids to focus on finishing academically. Make sure that they're all eligible and that kind of stuff. And we've done a good job of tracking that, so we should be in pretty good shape there. But then June 15th, we're rolling. We got 7-on-7 that day, the 16th, and then we're at Guilford College the 17th. We got 3 that week, and then we pretty much do 2 a week for the rest of June. And then July is pretty much slowed down. There's 2 dead periods in July, one the week of the 4th, and one the week at the coaches clinic. So you got really 1 week in between them, and the weight room's open that week. And then the week after that's mini camp. We bring them in and have 5 days of practice before we kick off August 1st. And so that's kind of what it looks like for the summer for us. I think we've added up. There's like 19 workouts that we've got over the summer, and we expect our kids to make 15 to 14 of them. And
if you had to do a write-up, a report right now based upon, you look at last year, now you write up the report about this year going into the season, how would that report read? If you had to hand in a report to your supervisor, administration, write those guys up a report on how things are looking now.
Well, our culture's different, and that's something we really focus on a lot. We have to coach culture as much as we do X's and O's, and our attitudes are good, and our atmosphere at practice is good. We're flowing around better. We don't have to spend time dealing with disciplinary stuff. We don't have to worry about our kids going to show up. We don't have to worry about are they going to go to class. We don't have to worry about they're going to get in trouble in the school day. We've done a good job of weeding those people out. And so if I had to give an outlook, I would say that we're going to be able, because of that change, we're going to be able to be a whole lot more competitive and a whole lot more consistent.
I guess it's a good thing. You know who's going to be there, and you know how they're going to react.
Right, and that's been our kind of our blueprint, if you will. Once we get our mentality and attitude right, get our culture right, and then we've got a chance to be successful on a consistent basis. Until then, you're kind of a hit or miss. And so once we get that right, and we're working right on that now, I feel great about where we're at on that part of it. I think we've got a chance to be really consistent. And once you become really consistent, then I think you got a chance to win a lot of ball games.
Coach, good talking to you again. A pleasure being with you this afternoon during the springtime workouts. Keep up the good work and keep us informed.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having us.